Hello, before the podcast starts, just a heads up, myself and a few other people are doing streams on Twitch from the 17th of March through to the 23rd for the passing of Ironhide and Melatonin, who were members of grcade.co.uk. So, anyone would like to donate, please head over to grk.co.uk/come together. COMETOGETHER. Yeah, unfortunately they both passed away within the last few months. So we're hoping to raise some money towards special effect and child's play. If you go to grk.co.uk, you can look at the schedule of who is streaming and when. This stream's going for most of the day up until 5 o'clock in the morning for most days. So please check out the streams even if you're unable to donate. More engagement, the better. And crack on with the podcast. Thank you. Hello and welcome to the Pugsley Crew Reviews Podcast, where we talk about all manner of films, whether they're good, bad, or anywhere in between, really. Today we have returning guest, which is Kerr9000.
Hello, happy to be here.
How are you doing, dude?
Yeah, I'm doing quite well, thanks. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just chilling out, just been out for a bite to eat and a pint, and it was very tasty. And then I had chocolate fudge cake with ice cream for dessert. It was yummy. I don't think I'll need to eat for the rest of the day now. Stuffed. But that's how it is, isn't it? Just eating shit all the time. Well, not eating shit all the time. That sounds weird. So today, we are going to be talking about a film called Troll 2. And, well, that's it, really. And Troll 2. We're going to be talking about Troll 2. And it's not a good film, is it?
Oh, it's often referred to as the best worst movie ever, to the degree there was a documentary made about it called something like the best worst movie ever.
Wow, I wouldn't say it's the
Because
best
it's one
worst
of
movie
those
ever,
that's
but
considered so bad it's good.
it is so bad. I said that, my missus gave me the stinkingest look when I said that. When we were watching, I said, "This is a so bad it's good kind of movie," and she just looked at me and say, "No, you idiot."
Wow.
But yeah,
Still think Cocaine Shark makes this seem like Citizen Kane, though.
yeah. The thing with Cocaine Shark is, compared to this, like, this kept me interested throughout because of how shit it was, but in a funny way. Whereas Cocaine Shark, I thought was funny for a small period of time, and then I just got bored.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Cocaine Shark should have been a 15-minute sketch, really.
Yeah.
Of just, oh, there's a monster and a man walking in with a paper mache shark head on, and that would have been funny enough. It well outstayed its welcome.
I would agree with you completely. This film was came out in the 90s, right? But
Yeah.
the very first notes, because I actually did write some notes down for this film, and the first one's like, this is very 80s in the music style choices they picked, because it started the really 80s kind of intro music, and I was like, damn. When was this made? 1982? Oh, no, 1990.
The reason for that is that I think the person who did the music
Yeah.
did it all on one of those Korg synthesizers, and I think it was pretty much a one-person job. And I know one of the tracks in the film is actually one of the Korg's demo samples, but sped up.
All right. Jesus
So it's
Christ.
a really low-effort soundtrack, which is probably why it feels like a decade too old.
Yeah. That is shocking. Basically, this film is about a kid who speaks to his dead grandfather, who likes to tell him scary stories about goblins.
Yep.
His grandfather's name is Seth. I did start writing names down, then I forgot to write them down. The kid's name is Joshua. His sister is Holly. Grandfather is Seth. And the other names I wrote down was Credence, a crazy druid lady who isn't a druid lady, and the other one was Sheriff Freak. But yeah, so you got Seth, who died like 6 months prior, is telling this kid ghost stories, stories about goblins. And the family's like, duh, you get over this. Your grandfather died 6 months ago. Stop being this way. And it's like, 6 months isn't that long, really, if you're really close to someone and they pass away. It's not that long.
Nah. I think for a young kid that loves their grandparents, 6 months of blink in the eye, isn't it?
Exactly. But no, he was told to grow up and stop speaking to fake ghosts, which he is real because he's spotted later on in the film by Joshua's sister Holly in a mirror. And it's like,
Yep.
That was her scream. Probably was something crap like that. And then she freaks out saying about seeing it, and everyone's like, oh, you're just stupid. And obviously Josh was like, see, I told you I wasn't making it up. It's fair. But we skipping ahead there. Within like 5 minutes of watching the film, I was like, this is really, really cheesy.
Yeah.
Because it is really cheesy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and obviously you kind of get to meet the family. The sisters doing weights. The mother and father are just like in the living room booking a trip to Nilbog, which is goblin spelled backwards.
Yeah, it didn't take long to realise that one, did it?
No, it took them a long time to realise that one,
Yeah.
but this is the kingdom of goblins. Well, why would they name it Goblin? Would you think they'd name it like the kingdom of something? Or they wouldn't just, we just use our names and put it in reverse. It's like Peds, and then I get a town and name it, I don't know, Zudep. Inipax. See, the dog agrees, it's stupid. Right.
I'm pretty sure The Simpsons parodied that at one point.
Did they?
I think
They probably
I'm
have.
sure there's something with a backwards town name.
Probably the Simpsons have parodied most things.
Yeah.
Probably everything, including itself. Right, for me, my first what the fuck moment in this was Holly's boyfriend comes into her bedroom. He then gets kneed in the balls and then asks her if she wants him to turn into a homo. What the actual fuck?
That just shows how old the film is, for one, doesn't it?
It does show how old the film is, but also, I don't think that's how it works.
No, somehow not.
I think if that was the case, about 98% of men would be homosexual.
But I mean, this film was written by a husband and wife who are Italian, who, from what I can gather, don't have a full grasp of the English language.
Right, that
So
would make
unless
sense.
it was supposed to be turning him into a eunuch or something, I don't know. Because as well, the cast are English, or well, American, but speak English.
Yeah.
Nearly all of the crew were Italian, apart from one woman that could speak English, who I think was a costume designer or makeup or something. So
Okay.
she had to translate everything between everybody.
All right.
And the Italian director who'd written it demanded that everything must be spoken as he'd written it. Even when people said, this isn't how people talk, or this doesn't make a lick of sense, he was pretty much like, no, you don't mess with my masterpiece.
Masterpiece. Yeah, masterpiece is what I would call this film. This is the best film I've ever seen. Yeah, masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, right, the sister and Holly and her boyfriend are arguing and like, oh, you need to pick between your friends and me. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a bit mean. Can't he have friends? And
Well, I
she's
mean,
like, if you want to be with me, you need to come to Nilbog with us. I was thinking, that's weird. Like the family don't even like the guy, and yet they're on about taking him on a trip for some reason. Why? All of a sudden?
yeah. No, it's bizarre. I mean, that you'd call it a coercive relationship nowadays, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. But
Uh,
yeah, so I don't understand what was going on there. But I there's certain things that are like, nah, that's weird. But then if you're saying it's written by an Italian who doesn't really have a full grasp of English, then it's kind of understandable that things are a bit wonky. Not so much that. That just seems like shitty behavior more than badly written stuff.
yeah.
But no, right. When they wait for the boyfriend the next day because he said he'd turn up,
Yeah.
and be there for her. They waited an extra hour and a half, and he didn't turn up, so they left without him. But in the film, it shows him with his friends, and they've gone in a camper van to the same place. So he still went. He just went with his friends. He should be able to have both.
Yeah.
So there you go. But one of the things I found funny was the scene in the film where they're on their way to Nilbog, and the kid's having a dream. Joshua is, where he's ate food. Well, they say, "No, you've stuffed your face," and then he starts turning into a plant, a plant, half man, because half plant, half human. Then, because that's what goblins like to eat for some weird reason.
Isn't that strange? When you think about it, these goblins are turning people into plants to eat them. Why don't you just eat plants?
Exactly. Because they're vegetarian as well. They don't have meat and stuff, but yet it doesn't make sense.
No, it's really illogical. I mean, and you could have solved it with a bit of scripting. You could have said that what they enjoy and what they get the taste from is the suffering or something. You know what I mean? There's ways you could have worked it, but it just comes across weird that we're going to turn somebody flesh into plant to eat them because we only eat plants.
Yeah, that was kind of like just eat the plant. Just go outside and eat. The story that's told originally is about a man being chased by goblins and tricked by a woman, and then turned into half plant, half human, and then being eaten. But what I don't understand is they were in a massive forest. Why didn't they just eat the plants in the forest?
Yeah, exactly.
There's loads of plants there, and they didn't like the humans eating meat because it ruins the taste. So just eat the plant. They don't eat meat,
Yeah.
except for like a Venus flytrap or so on and so forth. They eat bugs.
I had to laugh, and this is an insight for people in how this works. But when you were messaging me about this film, and you said you've got one first question you're going to have to ask me, and
Yeah,
I think you remember what that question is.
yeah. Why is this film called Troll 2?
When there's not a single troll in it.
There is no
Yeah.
troll. The film, I almost said game then. The film should be called Goblin.
Apparently, the film was going to be called Goblin or something on the lines of Goblins, but there was a very minorly successful film in 1986 called Troll.
All right.
So basically, they wanted to connect this film to that film to convince people that had seen the other film to watch it. It doesn't have any connection to it whatsoever. But they just thought by name it's like me going out and saying I've made Die Hard 7 because
Yeah.
people might watch it because they've seen Die Hard, which is a weird thing that happens with Italian. I mean, this film was made, I think, in America, but by Italian crews and stuff. But a lot of Italian films, they will just name them stuff that it's not. When Dawn of the Dead came out in Italy, they called it Zombie.
Right.
So there's a thing after that there was zombie films being made, and when they were being sold to different regions, instead of calling them whatever they were called, they kept getting called Zombie 2, Zombie 3, and none of them were connected. It's just a really bizarre Italian thing that they think if we try and tack it onto a series, whether it is or not, people go, "Oh, I want to see more of that."
Weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like tricking people to watch a film,
Yeah.
thinking, it's going to be, a nice sequel to a good film, Troll, which I've never seen. And it has nothing to do, I don't know. Seems pointless. Troll 2, nothing to do with trolls. It's funny though, because we were halfway through the film and I said, when's a troll going to turn up?
I don't actually remember if I've ever seen.
Hello?
Yep.
You cut out, there.
Oh dear. It's weird that, this film's more famous now than Troll, which I don't know if I've ever seen or not, and people would probably only watch that off the back of this.
Yeah, I might watch Troll just to see what it's like, but from the sounds of it, it's not anything like this.
I know as well, I think it's a VHS in one country for this film. Has a front cover that's got a kid in that's not in the film who's holding a troll doll and's being chased down a corridor by a werewolf that's holding an axe. So
What?
figure that one out. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
That doesn't
It's
make
just
sense.
like, yeah, it's like a Russian dollar craziness, isn't it? Everything to
Yeah.
do with this film and its publicity and how it was brought out. It's just like weirdness tacked on weirdness.
Yeah, that's crazy. That doesn't even make any sense.
Nah.
Right? There you go. At one point in the film, when they arrive at Nilbog, I think it's the kid Josh says, "Where is everybody?" And then the father turns around and says something along the lines of, "It's really late and everyone's probably asleep. You know what farmers are like." And I was thinking, it looks like it's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah,
1
it
o'clock in
does.
the afternoon. So why are they all in bed? They just sleep all the time. And then obviously everyone comes out when they drive off. Like 30 men come out of one, look out the window of one building.
Oh, it's weird. I mean, I don't know whether that's mistranslation or just craziness but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And yeah, the bit when they get to the house, they're about to sit down and start eating food. And Grandpa Seth turns up and he's like, "You have 30 seconds to think of a plan." And then the kid spends like 3 minutes walking around the table thinking, what can I do for this to stop them from eating this food? And then obviously he pisses all over the food. You don't see him piss on the food, but that's what he does for some weird
I
reason.
love it. But that's responsible for probably the best line in this film. The father, "Josh, whatever, you don't piss on hospitality. I won't have it."
It is great. But the funny thing is, when the father starts undoing his belt, I honestly thought that he was going to piss on Joshua to be like, "This is how you get treated for pissing on the food."
Yeah.
But he starts doing the belt up. I was like, right, he's tightening his belt. I thought he was going to piss on him. Genuinely thought he's like, "Yeah, this'll teach you, you little bastard. I'm going to piss on you."
I thought you were going to kick the crap out of him with the belt when I first saw it.
Yeah,
I thought you were getting hided, but
no, I
the mum
genuinely...
says something like, "You won't hit him," doesn't she? Or something like that.
Yeah, don't hit him. What does his sister say? He needs a big spank for being such a little shit or something.
Something on those lines,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's not a little shit, he's just sensitive. What? He's sensitive, so he pissed all over your food. Uh, but my thing with that though is when he does that is like you got 30 seconds. It's like an episode of Dragon Ball. It's like the Frieza saga of Dragon Ball. The planet will explode in 5 minutes. Like 10 hours later, the planet explodes. 30 seconds to think of an idea. 3 minutes later, he finally decides to do something because they're all frozen in time.
And I mean, you could have said 3 minutes, couldn't you? 3 minutes, you'd still a short span of time to come up with a brilliant plan.
Yeah.
Well, I
30
say
seconds
brilliant plan. I'm not
passed.
sure if pissing all over dinner is a brilliant plan, but it's the best the kid had.
Yeah. But yeah, I honestly, when he started undoing his belt, I looked at the missus and Mister Turby says, I thought he was gonna piss on the kid. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you there. I thought it was gonna be like tit for tat.
Yeah. Oh.
Obviously, what happens next in the film is, or the next thing I remember is it cuts to the boys in the woods in the camper van, the boyfriend and friends, and a woman turns up, and for some reason, one of the boys starts chasing her around, screaming at her, and then catches her. And my thought is, why would you randomly chase a woman through the woods? Why?
Yeah,
It's
it
not
don't
like it's
look good,
someone you
does it?
knew or who's gone missing, or like, oh my god! It's just like, oh, there's a woman. Let's chase her. Why? Why? That's like me going up the mountain, seeing a woman there, and just chasing after her for the fucking fun of it, for no other reason.
No, it is crazy. It doesn't make any sense. I think, I'm assuming that they were making out he was trying to help her, but yeah, shouting, "Do you need any help?" might have been better than just randomly running after her with no explanation.
Exactly. But it didn't come across. It just came across as like, yeah, I'm a creepy guy chasing some woman. Brilliant. And also, one thing I have to say about the goblins, the masks are fucking dreadful.
How dare you say that about masks that have been used in multiple films?
They're awful.
I don't know
Especially,
if you realise that these masks have been reused and reused. Apparently, one of them was from the original Troll, I think.
nah, right.
But
There's the thing is they're also so inconsistent. It's like most of them have no eyes. And then there's one or two that have like these really massive,
yeah,
big, bulging, stupid eyes, and they are fucking. They're not like shit. They're like funny shit, if that makes sense. I was laughing, especially my missus loved the big-eyed one. She thought it was fucking hilarious. The big-eyed goblin. What films have they been used in then?
eyes.
Hello? Cut out again, man.
Oh, sorry. Have you ever heard of Ator?
At all? No.
It's like Conan made on a £3.50 budget.
No, I'll
I
have
think
to
there's a
check that
couple of
out.
them. And there's a goblin in that who makes swords or something, and it's one of the masks out of this. If you saw that film, you'd recognise which goblin it is straight away. It's very obvious.
Is it the one with
It's
the
not.
bulging eyes?
No, it's not the bulging eye one. It's one of the more normal ones. But I don't think between the films it's altered at all. And I know other props apparently in this film prop up like through other barbarian type fantasy films and stuff. So
No,
yeah,
right.
strange.
Yeah, I thought the masks were crap. Funny, like, but kind of crap.
Yeah.
And obviously, when that woman is caught by that guy, the goblins capture them, chase them. Well, they don't capture; they chase them into a house where they meet the Credence, the crazy druid who isn't a druid. And then this is the famous line: "They're eating her, and then they'll eat me." Oh my god! Which seems to be the most famous thing of this film because it was
Yeah.
awful. They're eating her, then they'll eat me. Oh my god! It's literally that. It's fucking stupid in a
Apparently,
funny way.
clips of that have been watched over 7 million times on YouTube.
Yeah?
and reposted by account after account. Apparently, it's sort of like a cheap way people with farming engagement on YouTube was to post that.
Ah, right. I'm gonna be using that in my stuff when I just oh my god when I do a review of something and it's like really bad. I'll be like, oh my god, right at the end or something.
Uh,
It,
it,
I think that is. I can understand why that line is infamous because there's no emotion there at all, and then the oh my god at the end is really, really, really stupid, hilariously
there's
so.
there's something important you need to realise about the people in this film,
They're not
and it
actors.
is well only in the loosest way possible. The entire cast, background people, main role people, main dad, everybody, essentially turned up to auditions for this film believing that they were being involved in casting calls to be extras. So they
Oh,
all thought they were going to be extras in the background of a film. You know, the majority of them ended up proper lead roles.
damn.
So it's just like me or you going, oh, they're making a film down the road. Maybe I can go, be thug number 5 on the right or something and just get my name on a film. And you're
Yeah,
suddenly told, no, actually, you're the main love interest. This is your script. Have it
yeah.
learned by next week.
That is shit. That is awful. But
The dad was a dentist. And apparently for years he's just found it funny to drop it into conversation between dental work that he was once in a film.
and then people ask what, and then he explains.
I know some people in this film apparently didn't see the film till like years and years after it had come out and it was randomly on TV and they saw the film they'd been in, which
What
is
do they think?
crazy.
What do they think? Oh, this is a wonderful film. I'm glad I was in this. It's
Well, there's
probably
been
a good
quite a few.
experience, like, you know?
Oh yeah, there's been quite a few cast reunions and stuff, and they all seem to get on and have a laugh with each other, and it's like, they seem proper solid, like they enjoyed the thing together, even though they reckon it was horrible to film because of the lack of a language,
Yeah.
the language barrier and all that. But apparently the director is very angry with them.
Well, at the
And
time
once he
or
crashed,
now?
no, still now, at one time he crashed a Q&A and was screaming at them all that they were liars and they were, besmirching his good name, and he got escorted out because he made that much of a fuss and they were allowed to stay and answer questions.
That's
But he
terrible.
still says that, this would have been a work of art if not for everybody's messing it up. This was supposed to have a sequel as well.
What, Troll 3?
No. Um, Troll 2 Part 2.
Oh, right. Well, where an actual troll pops up, is it?
Yeah. Apparently, he wanted to film a promo for number 2 number 2 Part 2, while Troll 2 was being filmed. And the promo would have been the kid running into a McDonald's, buying a cheeseburger, screaming and running out of McDonald's. It's a real shame that never got filmed. I'm sure
Yeah.
McDonald's would have loved it. Uh,
One of the things I wrote to Sherlock is, where the fuck is the troll? So I knew nothing of this film really, so I didn't know there was no troll in it. I assumed it was about a troll.
well, you would do, wouldn't you?
I genuinely was like, well, where the fuck's the troll gonna turn up? Nope, no troll.
I'd seen this back when it came out, and then I'd seen it a few times since, but I'd not seen it for over 10 years, so I'd remembered, like, key moments, but not the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. I've never seen it, and if I have, I've fucking wiped it from my memory. So
Because there was a stage, like, late 80s, early 90s, where every movie was some little creature. There was, like, the ghoulies that came out the toilet and the munchkins and whatever, and I think little miniature killer things was just a phase that kind of the movie world went through.
yeah, after Gremlins probably.
Yeah, I think that was it. Gremlins came out really, big money. everyone loved it. So everyone's like, "What can we have that's small that tries to eat people? How can we make it on £3.50?"
Yeah. I don't even think they put £3.50 in this.
Wow. Apparently, one of the actors in it as well was in and out of a mental asylum during the making of this film.
Doing it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Um, it's one of the villagers, and it sounds bad to say, but I'm pretty sure it's the one that actually looks crazy. And
Priest?
even he, when he's no, he's like
Oh, the shop guy.
yeah, I think that might be him. And he said when he's watched it back, he realizes that all the bits in it when he's looking weird and stuff weren't actually acting. It was just him off his rocker.
Damn.
Which I suppose, there's method acting and method acting. That's even more in depth than Nick Cage.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Um, yeah, this film was a weird one. And one of the things I liked as well was Grandpa Seth going, right, here you go, have this. And it's like a fucking Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
Go on, you set a fire. I got the fire extinguisher. It's like, really? Mm,
After this, that kid could blame anything on his granddad, couldn't
yeah.
he?
Oh,
Parents
yeah.
would believe it.
Grandpa Seth told me to do it. Well, the end of the film, all the goblins are dead, and yet they not dead because they're eating the mother.
Yeah, I forgot that completely. I thought this ended on a happy ending, so because I clearly remembered goblins die and them going away and thought it ended. So I was
Yeah,
like, wow, this actually had a bummer ending where the bad people won.
yeah, they're just eating Joshua's mother, just nomming on her like.
Yeah, which makes less sense when, they were going to film a promo for the next one where Joshua's buying hamburgers or whatever, because it very much looked like he'd stuffed it.
Yeah, unless he got
Uh,
out of there in time.
well, yeah, I guess so.
He's like, fuck this shit, I'm leaving, and I'm off to buy a burger from Mackey's. Yep, must be it.
This film, how long do you think it took to film?
Weak.
3 weeks, which I think is a blink in terms of films.
It is, yeah. I was trying to be facetious. 5 minutes. Yeah, it seems like it was a low budget film done as quick as possible, and yeah, you can tell that the people in it are not actors because they can't act.
No, I actually think the kid in it is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, I would agree. Joshua's probably
Child actor.
he's probably the best in the film. I don't know if that's
I like
saying that
him
he's
and
a
I like
good
the dad.
actor. I don't know if that's saying he's like a really good child actor, or if everyone else, the father's pretty good as well. Yeah, especially with the belt thing, like does the
Yeah.
belt up. Yeah, well, I went through hunger pains when I was younger. I could do it again. If,
I do actually like the crazy goblin magician lady as well.
yeah, she's
Yeah, she's a
crazy.
bit pantomime, isn't she? But it's
Very,
good pantomime.
it is.
You can tell that she just didn't have any fucks and was just going like, I'm going to act the hell out of this. I'm going to make sure people remember me.
Shame that none of them are still acting and got big after this. It's like we brought up every now and again, but like the same fucking every so often the interview will come around like, so Troll 2. Oh.
The closest I can think is if you've seen Critters 3, that's
I,
the first film with Leonardo DiCaprio in, I think.
yeah, yeah. Critters is I've seen several of them, but I don't know which ones.
I love all the Critters films. Critters 4 is probably the worst
Yeah.
because Critters 4, they go into space and it's like a crap Critters alien ripoff. But I'll even
Right.
watch it, it's acceptable. And then they did a Critters, well, I was going to say Critters 5, but I think it's just called Critters Attack or something about 10 years ago. The only thing I've not seen is they did a Critters TV show,
Oh, I
but
didn't
I
know
don't
that.
think it's ever been shown in England.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
Didn't
it
even
was
know they
about
were.
the same time as they did that Critters Attacks.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that's the thing that sucks about being English. We miss out on loads of stuff because it's like I want to see that DC show, Creature Commandos, and that's not on
Yeah, you
anywhere here
mentioned that.
yet.
Yeah.
Mm. We don't
Uh,
get out, and if we do, it's on some weird Sky channel. And if you don't have Sky, you've shot it, or it's on Now TV, or it's on Paramount, or things are spread so wide. Unless you've got a subscription to 95 services,
I
you've shot it.
know. It's like at least while Sky is expensive and is shit to have Sky, at least 10 years ago when it was just Sky, you had you had one bill to pay. Now it's like to watch everything, you need Sky, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, uh Hulu, not Hulu, that's American. Shudder, and more and more and more and more. It's just it's getting to the point now where there's just way too many streaming services.
And they're
Like,
getting more expensive. I mean, I just decided to can Disney Plus
no,
because
yeah,
I saw
Disney
the bill
Plus is
was
another
going
one.
up again.
Uh, I had a free year with my phone, so I need to check when that's going to end because when it does, I'm cancelling it.
I've said with Disney Plus, like whenever a big Marvel series or film or a couple come out, I'll have a month and have a crazy weekend where I watch it morning till
Mm,
night and then unsubscribe again.
that's the way to do it, really. I think that's the
Yeah,
good thing about the services. There's no there's no contract with subscription.
don't say that.
So
That's good. I'll give them an idea.
you could have a month every now and then instead of being stuck there for a year or two. I think they. That's the thing. Netflix reported the highest bloody year on record or something last year or this year or whenever it was, and then they
Yeah.
still like up the prices. And it's the same with video game companies. They like, oh, record profits, record profits. Let's can off the team so the shareholders can get more money.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd think, success would equal job security, and it doesn't. You can have a successful film or game and still get canned. So what's the point in them working hard to some degree?
Yeah. No, I get that.
Congratulations, you've got the award-winning game of the year. By the way, here's your P45. See you later.
Exactly. It's shocking. Um, One of the lines I've got written down here from Troll 2, man. I know when it was. I can't remember everything that was said, but is a little tickle. And she's gone about chainsawing the kid who's like, oh my
Yeah.
God. Him. Yeah, well, that. He can't, even though he's being chopped, he's laughing while being cut with a chainsaw because obviously it's a little tickle to him.
He is the award-winning worst actor in it.
He
But yeah,
is.
God bless him, He's so memeable that despite being the worst actor on set, he's come off this as the thing that's probably remembered the most and the most famous out of the film.
Yeah. Agreed. Is there anything you would like to add before we wrap up?
I'd only say the thing I really love about this film and films of this ilk
Yeah.
is if you're a nerd like us, watch this and this makes you think, I could make a film. I could do better than that.
Mm,
It honestly does give you faith that you could write, produce, direct, probably provide the music for and edit something better than this if you had a year and a little bit of financing.
exactly. I would agree with her. I'm gonna make a film now. Give me 3 weeks and you'll see Troll 3 in cinemas. That's a joke.
Oh dear.
Uh, Jesus Christ. And it's not gonna be about goblins, it's not gonna be about trolls, it's gonna be about some other orcs. There you go, orcs. Orcs are gonna be killing shit and it's gonna be called Troll 3. Yeah, go me. Um Last question before we end then is what would you rate the film?
Oh, it's hard. As a serious rating for whether it's a good film or not, I would give it a 3.
Yeah.
For a rating on, do you want a laugh and do you enjoy things being cheesy and crap and stupid? I'd give it an 8.
Yeah.
It depends. If you're trying to go in for this for a good film, no. But if you want to watch something with a friend or somebody and just be astounded by how stupid it is, then it's a good film.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really disagree with you there. I would definitely say the film is terrible, but at the same time, it's good because it's so bad. One thing about this, right? I was looking at the genre it's in. It's in horror, comedy horror, and I was thinking, is it actually a comedy, intentionally comedy horror, or is it so bad that people are classing it as a comedy horror, even though it's meant to be a horror? Because it's an 18 rated film.
Yeah, I think it's just a horror film that is funny. I don't think horror intended in comedy intended in the actual producing of it.
Yeah, I think it was just meant to be like straight horror. Seems that way. Well, I think that is going to be us for this episode. We'll be back. Well, I say we'll be back. Kerr might not be back. Kerr might be back. I can't say anything, but we should be back with Plague Dogs soon. We were going to record that at the same time today, but unfortunately, neither of us got around to watching it. So, yeah, thank you for taking part, Kerr.
Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Always have a pleasure having you on as well, dude. Take care, everyone. Bye bye, and thank you for listening.
Bye.
Do you see this writing? Do you know what it means? Hospitality. And you can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
What are you going to do to me, Daddy?
Tighten my belt by one loop so I don't feel hunger pains.